This picture from Barack Obama's past just ruined his life for good. Journalists pounced on the terrible tragedy at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh to attack Donald Trump. Their main concern was blaming him for the shooting to hurt him in the election. But then an old picture of Barack Obama resurfaced and it just changed everything. Media falsely blames Donald Trump for synagogue shooting. Republicans built a cloud of steam going into the final days before the midterm election. Polls showed GOP candidates surging and in the position to boot multiple Democrat senators from office. So the media sprung into action to try and save their Democrat allies. Journalists settled on the narrative that Donald Trump bore the responsibility of an anti-Semitic bigot murdering 11 innocent worshippers. The Washington Post's Philip Bump said that Trump was to blame for creating the environment that led to this act of evil. He wrote, "A central question about the attempted bombings and the synagogue shooting is why now? Is it a coincidence that both of those acts happened at this moment? OR was the bomber, allegedly Sayok, reacting in part to the assertion that Democrats were being violent? Was the synagogue shooter, allegedly Bowers, reacting to the increased urgency fomented by Trump and his allies about the risk of migrants coming to the United States?" Bump then answered his own question. He also wrote, "So we have to note why that rhetoric exists because Trump and his allies think that concern about migrants and about democratic violence will help them win elections, whether or not they think those concerns are valid." Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders shut down this fake news. She noted that while Trump was condemning the people who committed acts of terrorism, the media was busy attacking Trump. The very first action the president did was condemn these heinous acts. The very first thing that the media did was condemn the president, she declared. An old photo of Barack Obama resurfaces. Things went from bad to worse for the media. After they rushed to blame Trump for the shooting, critics noted they gave the Democrats a pass for mainstreaming anti-Semitism. In 2005, a smiling Barack Obama was photographed standing next to the openly racist and anti-Semitic Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Heavy check mark Shamdov. Shamdov. Heavy check mark Shamdov. But Barack Obama is not the only prominent Democrat who wrapped his arms around Farrakhan. Bill Clinton sat front and center with the notorious anti-Semite at Aretha Franklin's funeral. Heavy check mark Shamdov. If you're wondering why media have suddenly characterized all criticism of George Soros as anti-Semitism, it's because they're desperate to avoid discussing the fact that Democrats have actively encouraged the most vile out and proud anti-Semites for years. Twitter adds info and privacy. Democrats have a Louis Farrakhan problem. The left has a Louis Farrakhan problem. Shortly before the shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue, Farrakhan tweeted out a video where he compared Jews to termites. Twitter did not ban him. The left sat silently as Farrakhan spread his hate-filled, anti-Semitic poison over social media. If any group is responsible for condoning anti-Semitism, it is the American left. They refuse to expel Farrakhan from polite society. Therefore, they have allowed him to mainstream his hatred. We will keep you up to date on any new developments in this ongoing story.